This show is a proud member of the Blue Collar Roots Network and is created for professionals and people who know what they're doing already. The opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the network or the sponsors. Do everything according to government regulations, OSHA safety practices, and manufacturer listing and labeling instructions. Not just because someone said so on a podcast. Now, on with the show.
You're listening to the Tool Pros Podcast. Call either of these two guys a tool, and they'll take it as a compliment. Billy Noth and Brent Ridley.
Hello and welcome to the Tool Pros Podcast. This is episode number 13. We are sitting here today with Nick Rowan. We are going to focus on workwear, Aeroseal, electrical troubleshooting, all kind of good stuff. Nick's got just a plethora of information, and I'm glad to have him on tonight. How you doing tonight, Nick?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me on your podcast. The pleasure is all mine, my friend.
We're missing Billy at the moment. Billy had a little computer issue, so me and Nick decided to go ahead without him, but hopefully he'll join us here in just a little bit, and we can make up for some lost time with that. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do on a daily basis and how you're affiliated with the trades or trades.
Well, my name is Nicholas. I work for my family business. I'm a third-generation heating and air conditioning contractor. My grandfather started Rowan Heating and Air Conditioning in 1958, and we became licensed and insured in 1959, and so became Rowan Heating and Air Conditioning. We have about 2,000 maintenance customers. We focus on home performance, aerosealing, blower door tests, maintenance contracts. We're a smaller company, so we don't do a lot of change outs like I hear a lot of other companies do. We only one a week, maybe, something like that.
How many employees you got, Nick? Or how many employees are with the company?
We have 8 people that work for us, not including, and then we have 3 people in the office. But we're a service-based company.
Yeah, fantastic. That's kind of the way we're set up too. We're very service-based, no new construction or anything like that, just kind of service and replacement. You guys do any new construction or anything like that?
No, we really don't, not unless it's a custom home. Around here, there are a lot of custom homes. We live in the Washington, D.C. area. They're going to build a custom home. There's a lot of places around here that they build them. And they can get pretty technical with what they want to do. So that's where we focus our efforts. We really don't do cookie cutter houses. We have a small sheet metal shop, so we'll fabricate all of our sheet metal, anything that needs to be made custom. So we really don't do any like row houses.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some of your installs and some of your pictures, man. They look fantastic. It's just beautiful, beautiful work, my man. Y'all try hard, brother. It's a lot more than just trying, man. Y'all are killing it, brother. Y'all are killing it. What part of the country are you in? You up in towards the Washington, D.C. area?
We're right in between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. My wife, she's a nurse in Baltimore. So it's 21 miles to Baltimore and like 18 miles to D.C. So we live right in the suburbs of the metropolitan area, a place called Howard County, Maryland, right outside a place called Laurel, Maryland. So I work in D.C. We service the Washington, D.C. area, Washington, D.C., PG County, Montgomery County, and Howard County. Those are the counties that we service around here.
You don't go towards Baltimore at all?
There's not really too much money in Baltimore. Everything there is pretty cutthroat. And in D.C., when someone likes you, you can pretty much name your price. They're not shopping you. They want it done right, and they don't care. It isn't, well, hey, can you just get this going right now? You don't have too much of that.
That's so valuable. It really is. That's such a valuable thing to have because the price shoppers and the cutthroat, that's not fun to deal with any time. So I wanted to talk about workwear and stuff like this. I noticed the other day you purchased the Atlas 46. It was like the apron style Atlas 46. I guess we would call it an apron. How do you like that? Do you use it for installs or service or what?
I got it, light installs. The first weekend I got it, I went and helped my brother run a flue for a stove. So we ran the stovepipe for it. And it was just real handy being able to just grab the tools that I needed and have them right there on me throughout the job. And then I've also been using it around the house. When I'm doing yard work and just working around the house, I'll grab my pruning shears, I'll grab a pair of channel locks, 4-in-1, razor knife. I'm ready to go, and I have most of the things I need to keep myself going.
Billy, are you there, brother?
I am, finally.
Hey, Billy.
What's up, Nick?
Billy got it figured out, and he could join us, so I'm excited now. We got the full cast on here, and now it's ready to go. Billy, we were talking about this Atlas 46 apron that he had.
Yes, which looked pretty sweet.
Oh, it is.
It does, man. It looks awesome.
I got the Journeyman Mesh. There's different kits you can get. They range from, like, say, $70. Well, the kits are like $130 all the way up to as much as you want to spend, $500. I got a good average all around kit. I thought it was the Journeyman Mesh Tech kit, and it came with a drill, a case, a lanyard, a couple magnets. Now, you can order accessories, different accessories, like magnets and the American flag patch. I got the glow-in-the-dark reverse American flag patch. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I noticed that it had the magnets. That's what I wanted to ask you about. That's what I was talking about. The magnets, I saw some of them come with like a magnet on the chest where you could like put some screws onto it. Is that what you have? You got the magnet on the chest or on the side, or how do you have that set up?
I got the big magnet, on purpose to put it on the chest. And then I also got a smaller magnet. For one, the shoulder straps are Velcro. So I put one of the magnets on my shoulder strap and on my chest. I can't tell you how many times I've already used it. Just like I was on the roof. We were putting a roof jack on and running that stovepipe up through the roof. And I was pulling out the roofing nails and I was holding them in my hand. I looked, I was like, oh man, I got a magnet right here. It was so convenient being on the roof and having that magnet right there. It's like, geez.
The perfect application for that.
I saw the packaging for this thing too, which was the packaging just looked cool as hell too. The packaging comes with like shooting targets and it has a copy of the Declaration of Independence in it, man. Like that is so badass.
And I was going to say something else. The American flag, when they ship it, it's shipped over the heart. And I was like, oh, do I pull it off and put it around the back, on the backside? It is. If they do it, they really put a lot of thought into the packaging.
Yeah, man, these guys are top notch.
Yeah, so what I did with the packaging is I have all the literature for my mechanical equipment in the packaging. I have that all with my mechanical equipment. So I'll keep that box.
Yeah, it's really neat, man. I was just kind of floored when I saw the box. I was like, dude, these guys are really cool, man. They've really thought about everything on this.
They really have. On the chest plate, underneath the magnet, there's like a zip pouch. That's where I put my phone. The only downside to the vest, and it's not really a downside, on the back side of that zipper pocket, I wish there was a little hole for my earbuds to go through, the wire to go through.
Sure, you want to put your phone in there, but then have your earphones hooked up to it at the same time.
Yeah, to go through the back side of it. But it was like, I thought about that the other day. I was working on a duct job. We were doing a little bit of duct work, and I was like, man, it'd be real nice. Because they kept getting tangled up in my drill lanyard, my earbuds. But besides that, it's a great vest.
We're going to try, we've been talking to Atlas 46, so we're going to try to get the guy to come on the podcast. We've actually been back and forth. We've had him scheduled, then we had to cancel, they had to cancel. So when we get him on here, that's going to be one of the number one things we talk about is a guide hole for the earbuds.
And you want to talk about being picky there. You probably shouldn't even have your earphones on a job.
Makes the day go by faster, you know. Man, on the advertisement, they have a pipe wrench stuck to the magnet on the chest. Is it that strong?
They are good magnets, yeah. I tell you, it's a good magnet. If you're dealing with a pair of snips, I have those Malco offset Andes. I don't know if you've seen them. They're like red, they're short. They stick to them. snips, anything you need. And that's what it's really nice for, because if you're working and instead of sticking it down in the pocket, you can literally just stick it onto your chest or on your shoulder and have a hand free.
I see that it comes with a lanyard too. Do you put that around your drill so you don't drop it, or how does that work?
Exactly. And if you look at the lanyard, you have the red part, but above the red part, it's a stretchy. It stretches. So say if you were just like to let your drill go, it'll stay to where you can reach down and grab it, and you don't have to really extend your arm. You can just reach down and grab it, and then that stretchy part gives it the extension that you need. Say if you're really reaching for something, you're extending out behind something, it gives it that recoil that you need.
Very cool. How many times have I dropped my drill off the top of a ladder and whatnot? Just little things like that are what makes something to go from good to great.
On the top strap where you see that lanyard hook up to, it also came with a short strap, I guess, for electrical tape and different kinds of tape that you can strap up there. And then those pockets that take your marker or your pencil, they're different depths. So if you have like a really long marker or a pencil or a really short one, you have an option of different depths for that. And I really like that. So if you have like a pencil that is only like a quarter of the way, you don't lose it in your pocket.
Yeah, well, you use that marking pencil a lot, and it's kind of short, and then you don't lose it. It doesn't fall down in the bottom of the pocket. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, because those pockets are small. They're designed for like a pencil or something. So I have nothing bad to say about it, except it's a little big. The size on it is a little big. It kind of hangs a little bit low on me. I'm just nitpicking, really.
So do they come in like a small, medium, large? How do they do that?
It's an adjustable on the back side. They have the two shoulder straps on the back side come to one spot, and then you can shorten the shoulder straps. And then on the back side, there's like a waistband. You can shorten that. Now, the waist is not what I'm having a trouble with. It's really how tall it is and how low it sits on me. And it's not a problem. But like when you go to kneel over, it'll hit your upper leg instead of missing it. If you bend over, if you stand up and kneel down, like bend straight down, like you're in front of a furnace, that apron will hit your legs. I'm not able to pull it up high enough to where it won't. And it's just something to get used to.
Sure, it all takes some getting used to. And if one size fits all, it wouldn't be that way on maybe a taller man or something like that.
Exactly. Or maybe if you had a little bit of a belly, it'll hold it off.
And Nick, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10", about 180 pounds.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not grossly big. It's just a little bit long when I bend over. It's not something that I would not get again. It just, maybe if they could design it to where they could make it so it got a little bit shorter. They definitely designed those shoulder straps for comfort.
Well, there it is. We'll put it on the list, and we'll talk to the Atlas guy if we can ever wrangle him onto here to the podcast. I want to change gears a little bit. I wanted to talk about probably one of the most popular questions that we get in some of these Facebook groups and other things, and it's about footwear. What kind of boots, what kind of shoes do you wear? So, Nick, you want to share first what kind of shoes you wear daily?
Yeah, I'm probably a terrible person to ask. Actually, when I was 20 years old, I broke my back, and I had a lot of reconstruction surgery on my back. The office is pretty lenient on me with my shoe wear, and I like wearing the Solomon shoes, and they're not steel toe. They're just tennis shoes, but they're easy to kick on and off, and they're real comfortable for me.
It brings up kind of an argument. When you're doing residential HVAC, is there a need for steel toe shoes? Because I'll be honest, I don't wear steel toe boots either. I wear the Murrells. They're like the work shoe, hiking shoe kind of combo, because I've been down the boot route. I've had the Wolverine boots and whatnot, and it just started hurting my feet after a while. So now I use the Murrells. But I go back to the original question, is steel toes a necessity for residential HVAC?
I don't think they're a necessity, but I guess depending on the type of work you're doing, it's always a good thing. You're carrying old cast iron boilers out of a basement. It's probably not a bad thing to have. I have steel toes and I've had them for quite a while now, but I came from working in a sheet metal shop also. That's what was preferred to wear from my boss. He was lenient, but if you were going to get boots, he would rather them be steel toed. So I've had them for years and I honestly feel weird not wearing them. So I've always had them. And now just being in a service department and a new company that I'm with, I think I'm the only one who wears steel toed boots, but it feels weird not having them on.
What brand do you wear, Billy?
The Timberland Pros?
Yes, I guess steel toe is a suggestion, and I think guys should wear them. I don't know if it's necessarily a necessity, but I will tell you, I personally think waterproof is a necessity. The shoes that I have are waterproof, and that is almost a have to for me. I don't know about you guys.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
It depends for me during the summer, winter. See, I also carry around a pair of what they call mucking boots, and they're like rubber boots that go up to your knee. So I carry those on my truck. So if it's raining or if it's a yucky day, I actually will wear those to the customer's house and I just wear my shoes on the inside. I don't like using those booties, the boot cover things, because you could slip going up and down stairs very easy. And it's not worth it to me to slip coming up and downstairs carrying something, trying to wear a bootie. We're licensed and insured. If we mess up the customer's carpet, we're going to fix it. And simple as that. And I try to explain to customers that we're there to work in their house. And wearing booties or being barefoot, probably not a good idea while you're working. Eventually, you're going to get a piece of glass in your foot. Something's going to hurt you. Or you're going to fall going down the stairs. I don't even know if those booties are OSHA approved. I don't know. That'd be a good question.
It would be, and it's funny you say that because early in my career, I had some booties on, and I was in a very nice house, and they had hardwood floors on the stairs. And I was coming down the stairs, and I guess they had just had the floors polished, and I slipped and fell on the stairs. And it's funny, the homeowner, she runs over there real quick, and she says, oh my gosh. And I thought she was worried about me. No. The first thing she says is, did you hurt my floor?
Did you scratch my floor? Exactly.
Now, let's just say I've been very cautious with them since then. If I'm walking down the stairs, I got my booties on, I'm always holding the handrail, that kind of thing. You need to be cautious with it, that's for sure.
Would you wear the booties and go up a ladder? I mean, like, that's what you're doing when you're going up and down stairs. And to me, it just doesn't make sense. And taking off our shoes. You don't know if a customer dropped a light bulb or whatever. And we're working in mechanical rooms. You just can't be walking around barefooted. And we're working. You got to have proper attire.
I had a customer that didn't want the booties on, felt like they weren't going to protect the floor enough. So she wanted my boots off. I was going to change the thermostat. I really wasn't that worried about it. But I had to go up into the attic, and she did not want me to put my boots on in the attic and then come back down again, which I got to go. You can't work like that.
You can't. We're there to work.
Yeah, at that point, she's hindering it. Yep.
If they're tying our hands, trying to do the job, that's not fair. Or tying our feet in this case. You fall down the stairs. Say if you hurt yourself falling down the stairs. Are they going to pay for you for the 6 months you're off because you have to have your shoulder rebuilt or whatever? That's not fair. And you fell down the stairs and you dropped the bee tank and scratched the floor. And you did it. Or your screwdriver scratched it or something. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I just don't. I carry 2 pairs of shoes.
I don't blame you on that. Yeah, I tell my guys to be very, very cautious on not tracking anything in people's homes. And they are for the most part. I haven't got that call yet.
Carry a pair of Crocs with them.
There you go. That's a great idea. That's a very good idea to bring some Crocs or something like that. That's fantastic. What about like work pants? What kind of pants do you guys wear? I personally just wear blue jeans. My wife hates it because I wear out my blue jeans about once every 3 months. I need a new pair, get a hole in them. But what do you guys do for work pants? You got a specific brand that you like or something like that?
I wore jeans for God knows how long, but I switched over to Carhartt for quite a while. I loved the wash duck pants. They were heavy duty canvas. I still have them. They're years old, and I haven't gone through them yet. But when I switched to the new company, they preferred the Dickies, so that's what I grabbed some to see if I liked them enough. They weren't going to push it, but they seem to be comfortable too. I don't know how long they're going to last, but between the Dickies and the Carhartts, I think the Carhartts are definitely the better of the pants.
What I do, because we destroy pants, when I get my hands dirty, first thing I do is wipe them on my pants. Drives my wife crazy. So we go to Hvac or the thrift store to get my pants. You can get a pair of pants for $2. Around here, you go Sunday or Monday, it's half price the sticker. So if the sticker's, say, $4, you can pick up a pair of pants for $2. And it's Levi's. It's all kinds of different brands, stuff that people have outgrown and taken in and donated. And that's where I get most of my pants from. Pretty much all my pants.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, $10, man. You got 5 pairs of pants.
That's a really smart move. That's a good idea.
My wife, man, she's a cheapskate.
I should try that sometime.
Definitely, man. Monday, Sunday, and Mondays.
Atlas 46 makes some pants. And then, like, Duluth Trading Company makes some pants. The Duluth Trading Company looks pretty nice. And so do the Atlas. Atlas 46 makes some cool-looking pants, too, that has, like, the reinforced knee, your knee pads to go around, and it's all that cool stuff. And I want to try it all out, but I haven't found myself wanting to gamble with that $100 for those pair of pants yet.
Now, one of the guys that works at the company I'm with, the boss's son, he uses the Duluth Pants. He's got a couple pairs of them, and he absolutely loves them. He said they're the most comfortable pants he's ever worn. What are they? Recycled fire hose material. So they're waterproof, they're stretchy. He just loves them. I was curious about those.
I like the commercials for the Duluth.
You were saying something about the Atlas 46, Nick?
Yeah, Atlas has the pocket magnet, the magnet for your pocket. You can put in like a sweater, a flannel, or your work shirt. They got that magnet set you just put in your pockets. Work pretty good.
Oh, so you're saying you could move it from one to the other kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it's only $20 or something like that. $18, $20. And you can put it in just your shirt pocket or put it in your hoodie or even use it in your tool bag.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. That sounds like something I'm going to have to jump on for sure.
Yeah. Hey guys, did you know Hvac has been a leader in design and manufacturing of combustion analysis equipment since 1909? During their full promotion, you can save on the purchase of a new combustion analyzer with the rebates worth up to $350. That offer includes a free 2-year subscription to their exclusive Be Smart Sensor Exchange program with the purchase of a FireEye Intech or Insight Plus. With the Be Smart Sensor Exchange program, pre-calibrated sensors are shipped directly to you. No more hassle, no more downtime while you return your combustion analyzer to the factory for calibration. Download your rebate form today at www.myhvac.com/offers and enter the promo code TOOLPROS to let them know you heard about it here on the Tool Pros podcast.
Nick, you told me a cool little story the other day about some electrical troubleshooting you did using your redfish meter. You want to elaborate with that a little bit and tell us that story? Because that story was really, really cool.
Most definitely. This is pretty cool. This is the importance of these podcasts. Most of the training we get after trade school, all of the training that is out there is really factory training, Carrier training, Train, Honeywell, and it's really factory specified. It's directed towards manufacture. So this is the importance of these podcasts. So I was listening to Brian Orr, his podcast about electrical myths, grounding, and bonding. And I was listening to his podcast with Jim Burtman, measuring voltage drop. And I ordered the Redfish meter, the DMV2. And a couple weeks later, I had a customer whose house caught on fire while we were working there. In the time, I wasn't there during the first fire, but he was having work done in his house. The fire marshal came and the inspector, the insurance adjuster came. They couldn't figure out why the house caught on fire. So they actually left it up to spontaneous combustion of the roof materials. I listened to this podcast, and a couple weeks I was actually there working, and the building caught on fire again. Everyone came back. They put out the fire. The inspector, the fire chief, everyone said the same thing. They needed to remove this roof. The roof is the reason why the house is catching on fire. Well, I was there, and they told me this, that it's spontaneous combustion of the roof. I said, I don't think so. So I got up on the roof and started checking voltage. To me, it sounded like a voltage issue, and I was right. I had that aha moment when I remembered Brian's podcast. So I started checking voltage, and I found the roof had 3 to 5 volts running through the roof. So the whole DC block, all of those roofs are interconnected. The whole block had 5 volts going through the roof, and this was what was causing the fire, arcing in the fire. I was able to see this with that new meter, and I was able to capture it to my phone, screenshot it, and send it to these people. Well, they wanted to meet up there with an electrician, and the electrician, fire inspector, and then the insurance adjuster, we all met out there. The electrician called me crazy, said 5 volts doesn't matter, it's normal. He called me a fool to my face in front of the customer. Well, a couple of days later, I get a phone call after we all left. The customer, it's the insurance adjuster, he wanted to meet me out there with the building engineer, and he wanted my meter. He wanted the redfish meter there. So I said, no problem. And I meet the engineer out there, and he started giving me crap right away about my meter because it wasn't a fluke, and big boys use fluke, this and that. He just really was there to prove me wrong. And then we found out what I said. I thought it was a bad neutral was true. And he started seeing all the things that the redfish could do, such as the trending. And I mean, just it connecting to my phone, he was blown away. And by the end, I bet you he went out and bought one. I guarantee it. But anyways, I found that L1 had like 170 with using a circuit, with a circuit energized. I used a hair dryer. I found on one side, L1 to neutral, I had like 117 volts. And the other side, L2 to neutral, I had like 120 some volts, 126 volts, 127 volts. It was an imbalance of voltage. And then, well, anyways, we got to figuring it was a bad neutral in the house. Thanks to Jim Burtman and Brian Orr, I was the hero that day. I'm still the hero to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really cool story. Spontaneous combustion, like, they really say that they thought that was the cause?
I swear, I'm not lying. They told the contractor they wanted this roof removed. This was Friday afternoon that I was there. We were installing a mini split. In a lot of these DC houses, in the back, they have these old carriage houses, okay? And we were installing a mini split in this carriage house he was having finished off. And while I was there, the upstairs caught on fire. I swear, after the fire inspector and everyone left, this guy, he's actually a lobbyist. And I was talking to his interior designer, and she's like, yeah, the roof is spontaneous combusting. They want this guy, Adam, her contractor, to remove the roof that night. It was like 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and he's got to remove a metal roof. He was so bummed. And then I found that the roof was hot, had a voltage, potentially 4 volts in it, and sure enough, man. But thanks to your all's network, I was able to find that. It's because of your all's network.
If you guys who don't know, that's the Blue Collar Roots Network is what we're part of. And that's HVAC School. So episode called Electrical Myths with Jim Bergman on the HVAC School. So guys, if you're interested in hearing what Nick's talking about, go check that podcast out and you can see what he's talking about.
And there's another one. You got to listen to there's 2 of them. Electrical Myths, Grounding and Bonding. I think it's like part 2. You should listen to all of them, but listen to that one. It tells you exactly how a transformer is working. And then The Voltage Drop with Jim Burtman. Definitely listen to those two.
Let's discuss a little bit of Aeroseal and see what you got. Because obviously your company does the Aeroseal. So let's tell people what it is, what the benefits are on Aeroseal.
Big thing, leaky ducts give you pressure differentials in houses, right? You got ducts in outside walls and attics, basement, first floors. It gives you pressure differential. When you're dealing with home performance, you have the ABCs of home performance: airway, attic, basement, circulation. Sealing the envelope up sometimes can be the duct system. A lot of duct systems are in the attic or in unconditioned areas. And aerosealing is a great tool that we have. Us as an industry, if you don't have an Aeroseal machine, you can team up with a company like us. If we have a HVAC company out there that comes to us and says, hey, we sold this customer this system, can y'all Aeroseal it for us? We work with other HVAC contractors sealing ductwork for them. It's a great plus when you're selling a job. Say, hey, for $2,500, I can seal your duct system. And really, if you want to say from start to finish, it takes about 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on how many registers it is. The hardest thing with Aerosealing a duct system is you have to pull off all the registers. So depending on how hard the registers are to pull off, that's going to be how hard it is to Aeroseal the duct system. You pull off the registers and you plug them with like this foam block. And then you cut a hole at your duct, at your unit, and then you plug off your unit from your duct system. And then you test your duct system. And you might not need to Aeroseal it. I find, on average, most duct systems leak about 25%. And we can take that down to a 30 CFM of duct leakage.
That's a substantial amount. 25%, that's 25% of your cooling capacity that you're just losing arbitrarily, whether it be in the basement or crawl space or attic or somewhere else.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. And you know what else? It's changing registers. The easiest way to lower static pressure on a system is change the registers. Put good registers on the system.
When you say change register, what are you saying? Like change it from a three-way, like the generic three-ways with the louvers in them, to what?
I call them stamped face registers. You get those cheap $4 stamped face registers. Those registers, they're really blocking like 50 to 60, probably more, % of the air coming out of the register. You get like a 5/8 gapping. I like the Lima 100M, 110M register. It's got like a 5/8 gapping, dual deflection register. And even if you look at how the fins are shaped like little airplane wing. They're designed to let air move by it and not restrict it. You understand?
I'm following you, absolutely. Now, how big of a gap can the Aeroseal seal up? Like a quarter size or a nickel? Or how big a gap we're talking about can this thing seal up?
A 1/2-inch hole. You drill a 1/2-inch hole in it, it can seal it. I mean, you see those black plugs in the ductwork from the cleaning company, from people cleaning ductwork. It's not going to seal a hole that big, but it'll seal 1/2-inch, 5/8 of a hole, which is a pretty big hole. It's an easy way to find big leakage too. You know, I found where they cut a tap into a duct and then I guess it was in the wrong spot.
Yeah, a 1/2-inch or 5/8 hole is very substantial.
Yeah, I found where they've cut a hole in a duct, like a 6-inch tap out the top, and it must have been in the wrong spot. So they moved it and didn't do anything with the hole. Maybe put some tape or something over it. You find a lot with testing the duct system. It's a good tool in our arsenal of tools. It's a great upsell too. Easy upsell.
It's very neat and it's very intriguing. I'm going to have to check it out myself. We've gone a little while now. I don't want to go too far here. I don't want to get too out of hand because I know we can sit here and talk forever. I guess we'll wrap it up.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, you've been fantastic, Nick. Thank you for coming on, brother. You've been wonderful, brother. Thank you so much for coming on, Nick. Guys, look up Nicholas Rowan. You can find him on Facebook. He's got an Instagram account now. We'll hit him up again. He's going to have to come back on because he's obviously got a whole lot to say, and we appreciate everything that he's saying. He's got so much valuable information. And I wanted to thank everybody else for their support for us on the Tool Pros podcast. Find us on Facebook, the Facebook group. Find us on Instagram. We got a YouTube channel now that we're just starting out. So find us on there. Give us some support. Also, you can leave us a review on the iTunes or Stitcher app. Let us know whether we're doing good or bad or however we're doing. Just give us some kind of feedback, and we would surely appreciate it. We thank you one more time just for sticking with us this long, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thank you for listening to the Tool Pros Podcast. The best way to listen to this podcast is by using your smartphone or other web-connected device, and subscribing using the podcast app on Apple devices or the Stitcher app, or Google Store for Android devices. You can find all of the shows on the Blue Collar Roots Network by going to bluecollarroots.com. From all of us at Blue Collar Roots, thank you for listening.